Hey guys, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion review. This one will be on Sword Art Online 2, Episode 3. So, the episode starts off with Sinon leaving school and she's then looking at some fruit, I guess. Then someone calls her real name, Asada Shino. So, I'm just telling you guys for future reference, I'm just going to call her Sinon throughout the whole thing, even when she's in real life, because I call Kirito Kirito. So yeah. So after that, Sinon is led to in like this alley with two girls behind her, and I'm guessing the girl in the front is the leader. And she pretty much tells her, I'm guessing they're bullies, obviously, and telling her that she has to give them 10,000 yen. And Sinon says no. So I'm guessing she usually does pay them too, obviously. But this time she finally was like, no, I'm not going to give you that much money. And I was like, yeah, damn right, forget them. And as she's about to try and walk away, the lead girl, the leader one, goes up to her, makes like a, finger gun, points at her, and all of a sudden Sinon starts freaking out. She starts panicking. So I'm guessing, I don't know, has something to do with, she has a fear of guns maybe, I don't know. Because it's just a finger gun. And like bang, and she's just freaking out. And so they pretty much say that they're just gonna take whatever she has. And as they're about to take her bag, you hear someone yelling out, "This way, officer!" Going towards the alley. So the girls run away. So pretty much saving Sinon. And it turns out the person who saved her was her friend Shinkawa. And after that, they're in some restaurant drinking tea and stuff or something. And they pretty much talk about how amazing it is that she beat Behemoth, because he may not be one of the she didn't know if he was famous or not, because he wasn't in BOB, which is Bullet of Bullets. It's a pro tournament, MLG. But yeah, so she didn't really know that he was famous. But it turns out that he has a minigun, and with that being one-on-one, it's slow and he's not going to be able to beat anyone. But he's never been defeated while in a group, because with the group, he's able to just have enough support that even with the slowness, he never been beaten until that day. Pretty badass, and on sniping him in the face, even with her leg taken out. So after that, they talk about Sinon is entering the next BOB, and that she thinks that if she could beat all of her enemies in the game and prove she is strongest, then she can. And as she's about to say what she can do, the guy cuts her off. But I'm guessing it's that she's strong enough in her fear of, I'm guessing, guns. It won't mean a thing. She obviously conquered her fear if she could beat all these guys in a gun game. So after that, she starts to leave, and she thanks him for the tea and thanks him for saving her. And you can obviously tell that he has feelings for her, and maybe it'll go in more after, talk about it more. But as she leaves, he's like, he wishes that he can always protect her. I was like, oh, that's cute. After that, she's at home and she pulls open her drawer, and it has like a toy gun in there. So right when she grabs it, she starts like you can tell, like starts, she's starting to panic and stuff. And then we get a flashback. And that's a good thing. I want to know more backstory, because in the original Sword Art, the first season, it didn't really have much of a backstory of everyone, but this one it seems to. So it has, one day she's at a post office, and it talks about how her dad died in a car accident when she was 2, so she never met him, and her mom moved away from Tokyo to live with her parents. And one day they go to a post office, and all of a sudden this guy comes in, pushes the mom onto the ground, points a gun at the guy, telling him, put money in the bag. And I guess he was about to turn on, press the alarm switch, so he shoots the guy and says, I told you not to do that. And he points the gun at another of the workers, which is a girl, and says, you put the money in the bag. And then she starts hesitating, like, because gun pointed at her, obviously. So the guy then points the gun at her mom and says, if you wait any longer, I'll start shooting people. And then out of nowhere, Sinon comes out, bites the man's hand, to protect the mother. and he gets like, oh, and he slams her against the counter, which also ends up dropping his gun. She falls and he drops the gun. Sinan is fast enough, grabs the gun, but the guy starts jumping at her. He's like, give it back, and boom, she shoots him in the stomach. And then he's like, ugh, and then I don't know, he is crazy. Like, he's probably on some drugs or something. Tries to jump back at her. Boom, shot again in the shoulder this time. He falls backwards. One more time, he gets up and right back. Boom, shoots one more time, straight in the head. He's dead. Then she turns, and looks at her mother. And you can tell the mom is obviously shocked, looking at the gun like, oh my god, I can't believe she did that, And Sinan looks at the gun again, and all of a sudden blood is coming from the body going all around her, and she starts, screams and starts panicking. And then we're back in the room. She drops the gun, starts panicking, drops the gun, runs into the bathroom. You hear her start to throw up. Then she comes back, gets like a sheet, like a little blanket thing or whatever, a little cloth, and then grabs the gun, puts it in. So I guess she can hold it if she can't see it, maybe, I don't know. And then she goes on her bed and starts to cry. After that, we finally get some Kirito in this, and it's him telling Asuna about him leaving ALO for a while, telling him about GGO, and she understands that he has to, and tells him to come back as soon as possible, and this place alone is their home. It was so cute. I love them together. And after that, he's at the hospital. He goes into the room where he's supposed to meet the guy, I guess, and that's when he sees this nurse. And he's like, and I guess he already knows her because he's like, hello, Aki-san. And I don't know where she just grabs his butt, and he's like, oh, and grabs his arms and stuff, and he's like, oh, you built some muscle, but that's not enough. Are you eating it enough? And stuff like that. And it turns out that she was the one that helped him with his rehab after, because he was, after they got sword art, he was like super skinny and all like, malnourished. For some reason, Asuna was fine, but who knows? Rich, maybe, they kept her better kept because she was more, rich. Who knows? But after that, they say that since she helped with the rehab, they picked her to watch over his body while he's investigating GGO to, see if anything happens while he's in the game. Because obviously, he's investigating a guy that somehow kills people within a game. So, yeah. After that, she has a paper with a message from Kikoka, the guy that gave him the mission. And it tells him pretty much on the paper, email his reports to the usual email address. After the mission, he'll get compensation plus pay for the expenses, so be sure to submit that. And he also says, just because you're alone in a private room with a pretty nurse, don't let your youthful impulses rage out of control. And I was just laughing, and Kirito's just like crumples it up, puts it away. And then nope, let's bring in some more. She starts saying, okay, strip your clothes, I need to hook up some electrodes to you. And she also says she pretty much already saw everything while he was in the hospital before. And the camera just goes down to his penis area, and he's like, oh, covers his penis. He's like, can I just take off my shirt? And then she agrees, and it's fine. After that, it shows him she's hooking him up and stuff, and then that's pretty much nothing really until he's like, he puts it on, lies down, Linku Stato. You gotta love when they say that. And after that, we're back with Sinan, and she pretty much on her bed, and she's thinking, and it says that, after the post office incident, just seeing a picture or a video of a gun, it sends her into a panic attack. And it turns out that Shinkawa suggested that she play GGO as a form of immersion therapy. So, but what was weird is when she's in the game, when she's holding a gun or when someone's pointing a gun at her, she has no fear. She's not scared. So, which is really weird, to be honest. Like, you're scared of guns, and then full dive into a game where you're holding guns, shooting guns, killing people can kill you, and you're not scared. It's a little weird, but maybe it'll go more into that later. After that, it says she see things. She says that the stronger Sinon gets, the stronger her real self gets, and it's pretty interesting. I guess that could, like if she gets stronger in the game, she feels that in the real world she'll also be able to be more confident because in the game she could do it. So in real life she should be able to do it. Then of course he says Linku Starto, and after that, there's someone in the computer looking in some forum where people are talking about, the two people who died, what happened to them, and they're pretty much just joking around about, Death Gun and not really believing it, obviously. And the guy in the computer, I'm guessing, is Death Gun because he brings out 3 pictures with 2 of them being the 2 people he already killed, and the last person is Sinon. And I was like, oh, okay, so she's the next target, and Kirito's probably gonna save her. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. I give the episode a 7.5 out of 10. Had a lot of good backstory, something that the first season didn't give all the characters really, and that's why I'm happy they're at least giving more backstory on her. And there was not really any action, except it was pretty crazy, the gun part when she killed the guy was crazy. But I can't wait for the next episode. Kirito finally gets in the game. We get to see him as a girl. not really as a girl, his character, yeah. And it's a trap. And pretty much we'll probably get to see more action. Him and Sinon meet finally. And yeah. So as I said before, this is a discussion, guys. So if you want, just comment below what you thought about the episode. If you have a question for me, just comment below as well. What you're excited for in the next episode, put it down as well. And I hope you guys, enjoyed this discussion review. Till next time, guys. See ya.